I have 12 pieces of clothing that creates 25 outfits. Every dress, skirt, top, and layer fits on one reel, and it works perfectly for all 4 seasons, every occasion in my daily life. But it's not just about having less. Each piece I own is intentional. It works for date nights with my husband, homeschooling and kids, playgrounds, cooking, cleaning, and even a nicer occasion. I've simplified everything to focus on modesty, femininity, and functionality. So today, I'm opening up my minimalist wardrobe to show you everything I own and why I choose each piece and how I've embraced modesty and femininity in a way that's simple, practical, and in alignment with our values. Before we dive into the closet tour, I'll share some mindset if you also want to keep your wardrobe intentional. If you prefer skipping ahead to the closet tour, jump to this time right here. One of the best things I did for myself during this wardrobe transformation was discovering my color palette. I had heard about seasonal color analysis before, but I never truly took the time to dive into it until recently. Essentially, it's about figuring out which colors naturally complement your skin tone and your hair and your eyes, and which ones make you look off, like wash off or even tired. And I was drawn towards earthy colors like warm beige or nude because they felt cozy and natural to me. When I learned that I'm a deep winter, which means that I look best in rich and cool tone colors like deep reds and emerald greens and bright whites, it was like a light bulb moment went off. I realized that while I love those warm and earthy tones, they just didn't work out for me. They made my complexion look dull and wash off. What I did realize is that I've always been drawn to deep burgundy, a bright pink, or white and black, and colors that are actually perfect for deep winter. And these bold and rich tones highlight my tone and make me look alive and vibrant. It's amazing how something so simple like color can make such a big difference in how we are perceived. Since discovering this about myself, I've been so much more intentional with my wardrobe choices. I no longer feel the need to shop for that missing piece in my wardrobe because I've already learned exactly what complements me. The second thing I did was to start paying more attention to what works well with my body type. I've always gravitated towards fitted clothing because it felt the most comfortable and familiar to me, but I've learned a lot about how certain styles not only highlight my features, but also align or not with the woman I want to represent. For example, I used to say that I would never wear A-line skirts because I thought they were not flattering. But now they're actually one of my favorites. I found that A-line skirts create a balanced and feminine silhouette that feels both modest and graceful. And they actually help me embrace a more intentional and biblical approach to femininity that aligns with my values. Another great thing for my closet was to take a deep dive into what I truly love and what I don't. It wasn't just about the look or the style of clothing. It was about how each item fit into my life practically. I had to ask myself, like, does this item serve me in a day-to-day life? Does it make me feel comfortable and confident and at ease? This process was as much about discovering my needs than it was about discovering my style. For example, I've had eczema on my armpits since high school. So tops that don't touch my armpits are a non-negotiable for me. That discomfort and irritation that comes from the fabric rubbing against that area, just not worth it for me. It's a simple detail, but knowing what I need to feel physically comfortable has become so important. I also don't sweat much, but I've learned that I absolutely can't stand being in a situation where I'm self-conscious about sweat stains. And I don't want to be thinking about whether or not I have big circles that may show up under my arms, especially when I'm out with the girls or running errands or whatever else I'm doing. It's one last thing that I need to be worrying about. I want my clothes to fit seamlessly into my life and let me focus on the moments that matter. Clothing for me is a necessity. So something that should serve me, not the other way around. I don't want to be adjusting my clothes all day long and constantly tugging on that sleeve or pulling on my waistband or whatever else. If something feels uncomfortable or doesn't stay in place, it's out. I also made a decision to avoid high maintenance pieces that require more attention, like dry cleaning only or clothes that need to be steamed. I won't keep up with that high maintenance, so I need a wardrobe that's practical, easy to care for, and go with me throughout my day without a second thought. The other thing I did was to figure out that I wanted everything in my closet to work across all 4 seasons. I don't want to make the time to switch out clothes for every season and be stuck with a pile I only wear for a couple of months out of the year. So I decided to simplify and make sure that every piece I own is versatile enough to be styled with any weather, whether it's a snowy winter day or a hot summer afternoon. What I love about this approach is that it's practical and adaptable. Each item in my closet is something I can layer and mix and match to suit whatever the weather is doing. For example, In the colder months, I can easily add a cozy sweater over my dresses and skirts. And in the warmer months, those same pieces can be worn alone. Everything in my closet can both work for daily life and nicer occasions. I don't want to have a separate set of fancy clothes that I get to wear only for special events. Everything can be dressed up or dressed down. A dress can be paired with my barefoot shoes and a cardigan for every day, or dressed up with heels for a nicer gathering. What I wear every day is just as good for a family gathering, a day out, a wedding, whatever. By embracing a closet that everything works year-round and for all occasions, I've minimized decision fatigue and reduced the overwhelm that used to come with maintaining multiple wardrobes. And this mindset has allowed me to focus more on what really matters, being present with my family, living out our values, and embracing the simplicity of a wardrobe that works seamlessly with my life. Since the end of April, I've been on this incredible journey of biblical womanhood, diving into everything I can find about what it means to live as the woman that God has designed me to be. It's been eye-opening, challenging, and so fulfilling. And one of the key things that I've learned is that we are called to dress with both modesty and femininity, not because it's about rules or restrictions, but because it's about honoring God and reflecting his design for us as women. I talked more in depth about modesty in a previous video, but I've learned that modesty is not just about covering up. It's about the heart behind how we present ourselves. I used to wear only tight clothing because I thought it enhanced my body type amazingly and it made me feel confident. What I came to realize is that it was actually coming from a lack of confidence and insecurities so much that I felt the need to show off my body, for lack of a better word, to feel worthy. Modesty is about humility and self-respect, an intentionality that says I am more than my outward appearance. It's choosing clothing that doesn't draw unnecessary attention to our bodies and instead highlights our character, dignity, and identity in Christ. Femininity, on the other hand, it's about embracing the beauty and grace and strength that comes with being a woman. It's not just about wearing dresses or skirts, because we can wear those and still not have a feminine attitude, or wearing cute ruffles and florals, because I don't wear those. And so it's about leaning into the qualities that God has given us as women. And femininity is tender and nurturing, but it's also bold and confident in a modest way. It's reflected in how we carry ourselves and how we love and how we serve our families. Femininity for me, it's about much more than clothing. It's about how I carry myself, how I interact with others, and how I reflect the beauty and grace that God has given me as a woman. And so choosing dresses and skirt is one small way that I've leaned into that, but it's not the only way to be feminine. It's about the heart behind it, not the clothes themselves. Understanding these has transformed the way I dress so I can align my outward self with the woman that God has shaping me to be on the inside. And all of this clarity made it so much easier to make decisions about my closet. Once I had a better understanding of what truly worked for me in terms of colors and comfort and practicality, everything else just fell into places. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I was no longer held back by the pressure to keep clothes that didn't serve me or fit my new vision of how I wanted to dress. It became about more than just clothes. It was about creating a closet that aligned with my lifestyle, my values, and the woman I'm becoming. I chose to declutter everything that didn't fit into this new vision, and that included letting go of all of my pants, which in my case were only 2 pair of jeans, which I loved, and I kept only 2 pair of leggings for layering under skirts and dresses during the colder months like nylons. I realized I didn't need a massive collection of clothes to feel good about my wardrobe. I would pick up the same favorite outfits anyway. And in the past, my uniform was a pair of jeans and a tank top tucked in, or a dress during summer months. And it was easy and comfortable, and I could dress it up for some booties and wedges, or I could dress it down for the playground, but it didn't reflect the more intentional, thoughtful way that I wanted to dress now. And this is not to say that you have to do what I do, but this is my journey. And now I'm excited to show you what's left in my closet, the pieces I absolutely love and rely on every day. Let's take a peek. First outfit is what I'm currently wearing. I made both of them. I made a tank top from tracing around a top that you'll see in a minute here, and I want a wool skirt for winter, so I made this one. It was actually super easy, even for a beginner like me. A few measurements, and 30 minutes later, there you go. Based on my deep winter color palette, the color of this cardigan technically should be avoided from me, but it's just so beautiful that I kept it anyway. I absolutely love this sweater. Not bright white like I should be focusing on with my color palette, but it's white enough that it actually works. It's from a certified B Corporation, and it's from Montreal, Canada, where I'm from, so I really got excited about that. I've been learning that tucking my tops and sweaters in make me look a little bit more balanced and not as short and boxy, which is always a bonus when you're 5'1" 3/4. This is a gray tank top that I used to make my black tank top. I should be replacing this one soon because you can tell I've been stretching it to nurse our youngest. And another outfit, layered with a cardigan. Same gray pencil skirt and a white sleeveless blouse that I got about 7 years ago when I started nursing our oldest. I love finding clothes that I could wear during pregnancies and for nursing without having to get the maternity clothes. And for this, I would just undo the buttons and there you go. This is the very first circle skirt that I've made. I've learned that circle skirts were super easy, so I went on this learning adventure. Micah cut the fabric for me and he helped me with all the math needed. Same circle skirt, different fabric, different color. This one is 100% organic cotton. I absolutely love having clothes that I can mix and match. As you can see here, all of my skirts can match with most of my tops. So when I get dressed in the morning, I use minimal amount of decision fatigue. I just got this skirt, and I have a confession to make. This is full of polyester. Even when I know what polyester can do to our bodies, I've been really wanting to have a pleated skirt. I find them so elegant. And this skirt actually goes all the way to between my mid-calf and my ankle. The skirt itself is actually reversible, so I can wear it with the tulle side or with the polyester side. This is my absolute favorite dress. I used to have this beautiful burgundy aligned fabric dress that was so fitted that I could see every shape of my body. When I started my biblical womanhood journey and learned about dressing with modesty and femininity, I got rid of that dress. And I really wanted another burgundy dress, so I made this one for myself. And this is the first dress I've ever made, and I used my paint dress that you'll see here in a minute to make this one. I chose this fabric to be organic bamboo, and it's amazingly soft and comfortable. I found these two layers with the cardigan and the sweater working very well with the dress because it's a little bit more fitted than the pink one. This is the pink dress I was mentioning that I used to make the burgundy dress. I actually got this dress 7 years ago when I was pregnant with their oldest. It's super stretchy, so I was able to wear it for my whole pregnancy, so that was awesome. And although you can tell that it's getting a little bit too stretched, so I should let it go, but it's so comfortable. So I realized that my white long sleeve top was in the dryer with the whites when I finished filming the first time. So the next 5 outfits will be the white long sleeve top with the same 4 skirts and dress that you've already seen. I prefer sleeveless tops, and I really like this one because the long sleeves don't touch my armpits. And I find that there's something about it that makes it so elegant. It's actually a crop top, and I don't wear crop tops, but my skirts are high-waisted enough, so it actually works amazingly, acting the same way as if I had tucked it in. These are all the shoes I have. I know, only 5 pairs. Black booties with heels, my everyday black barefoot booties for fall and winter, black pumps, nude wedges, and my everyday barefoot shoes for summer and spring. These are the 2 handbags I own. I use the smaller one for church and date nights, and when I go to the coffee shop, I use the bigger one to put our laptop in. These earrings are the only jewelry I have, well, that and my wedding ring. I don't have any necklaces, bracelets, belts, and hats because I don't find them practical for the season that I'm in. There you go. You saw everything I have in my minimal closet. 12 clothing items, 5 pair of shoes, 2 handbags, 1 pair of earrings that make 25 outfits.